ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं कर्वावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। Om Shri Sai Ram. Good evening. Greetings to everyone sitting here and all of you who are now joined by Zoom. This session is a classical sign of Swami. He always has said, love my uncertainties. And we had planned actually to do this session tomorrow morning at 8:30. But as we came here, the command was to do it from his home. And there cannot be a better place for all of us to be in this satsanga than Swami's most beautiful home in Assisi, in Italy. And we were actually sitting and talking about the journey that has brought us till here. And what came up in our discussion was the faith that the Master requires from all of us to walk this path of realizing the truth of ourself. Because all of us, whether we are sitting here in person in the ashram or we are sitting across the world, everyone is seeking only one thing: the experience of the truth of ourselves. Who am I? And Swami came, took a human form, as he has taken a human form many times in the past, only to give us this experience. And before the experience comes, we must awaken to first the truth of ourselves. So the veil of ignorance, the veil of darkness has to be first removed so that we even get to know our truth. Because we are so involved in this human body, in this human form, and we are so caught up in the play of Maya, the play of delusion of the world, and we are caught in our attachments and attractions that we do not even get to know what is our truth. So that itself requires the grace of the Master for us to know the truth, to even hear about what the truth of the self is. But then, as we say, knowing is just the starting part of the journey. Mere knowledge can only make us scholars and can fill our heads with ego of knowing the texts. Interestingly, the path of experiencing the truth requires no knowledge. It requires only one fundamental, which is to find a teacher, a master, a guru, who has the ability to get us to that experience, to make us experience the experience. Not every master can do it. Most masters can tell you the truth. Most masters can tell us the truth. But there are very few masters who have the skill, ability, and the grace from God to be able to take us to the experience. And that is what our master, Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba, came to deliver both the message of the truth, because his name is Satya Sai. His name is truth incarnate, embodiment of truth. So he came to tell us the truth of himself, who he was. And then he said that who he is who we are. That his truth was the same as our truth. And he said, my truth is that I am God. And he said that your truth is that you are also God. The only difference is that I know that I am God, but you do not know that you are God. And I have come to tell you that you are God. And I have come to light the lamp of love in your heart, so that through this light of love, you can experience your truth, your divine nature, and experience that you are God. So it's through love only that we can experience God. We can not only experience God, but we can experience that God is inside us, is within us, is actually none other than us. So the formless took a human birth, and took the name of Satya Sai and reached out to all of us with this message of the truth of himself being that embodiment of that supreme consciousness, Baba being the embodiment of that pure love. And then once we recognized the divinity in him, then he said, the next phase starts, which is that now I will tell you what is your truth. Because we are not ready to experience or listen to that truth unless we are convinced that the Master is the right one who has the message for us. So first he attracts us, first he convinces us, that he is the true master that we were waiting for, the avatar of the yoga. And when we were all ready, he gave us this message that we too are the embodiments of that same formless consciousness, and we too are the embodiments of that same consciousness as he is. I say he is, and I do not say he was, because consciousness is eternal in nature. It does not come and go. It is always present, as it is present right now, right here, not just as what we are experiencing, but whatever we are experiencing is being experienced in our hearts. So therefore, it is that same divine consciousness which is receiving this message, which is experiencing through the heart. And this heart is a one heart. It is not a separate heart. It is a sacred heart. It's a divine place of worship. And this place of worship was always there within us, but we have been going to churches and synagogues and temples and all these holy places. But he said, once you light the lamp of love in the sacred altar of your heart, then my love will flow through this. And you will experience your truth through this love. So he knows the path. He who knows the path can guide us to that path. He who is himself the path can make us walk that path. And he who has the ability to walk with us all the time, never letting us go, is the one who can take us there. And to that one who we call as the Supreme Truth, as God incarnate, we must trust fully. So that bearer of this truth, that embodiment of this truth is here right now, present amongst all of us, and ready to guide us to our goal of life, to our experience of that truth. And we are so fortunate that we are present in his home. We are guardians of this home. We are the caretakers of his home. But what is his home? His home is not a building. His home is not an ashram. His home is not Puttaparthi. It is not Madanhalli. His home is our heart. Remember, it's a sacred heart. And in that sacred heart, he resides as divine love. And that love is what we have come to experience, because that is our truth. So what essentially Baba is conveying to all of us is that this is a path which requires faith on the Master. It requires surrender to the Master, because what we don't know is what he knows. And what he knows, only that who knows can actually take us there. And therefore, as Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, that yes, this path is difficult. Yes, this path requires a lot of understanding. But if you surrender to that one who has that understanding, and if you surrender to the one who takes the responsibility upon himself to carry you through, then your task becomes easier. Then you do not have to struggle. And finding that teacher, finding that master is difficult. But once you have found it, you shouldn't let go of that master. So I was giving my own example of how at each stage my master tested me. And we were talking that when I went to teach in the university set up by Baba, he first of all asked me that please come unattached and empty-handed to me, which meant that I had to give up all my safety, security, and comfort by giving away the home that I used to live in and giving away all the beautiful objects that I was attached to in life. And only with 2 suitcases, he asked me to come to him. He did not say 2 suitcases. He said, come to me empty-handed. I still took 2 suitcases, one of my clothes and one of bed sheets and towels and bed linen, because I did not know what I will get. And I was told that I was a teacher. I had never taught before in my life. I was told I was a professor. I had no clue that I was a professor. I was given 5 subjects to teach. None of them I had ever read before in my life. Forget about teaching them. I did not even know them. I was made to stay in a hostel. I had never lived in a hostel in my life. I was very spoiled. I had the comforts of a big, lovely home. And I didn't have any air conditioning. I was used to it. I was getting food to eat, which was only chilies, and there was no taste in the food, and my stomach was rebelling. It was very hot, extremely hot place. There used to be a bell that would ring at 4 o'clock in the morning to wake up. I had never woken up at 4 in my life. And I was supposed to be present for prayers in the morning, which I had never done before. And the language that people were speaking there, even though I was in India, but the regional language I did not understand. And I was to then teach under these circumstances. And when I was given these subjects to teach, and when the realization came that I do not even know these subjects that I am being asked to teach, I realized that it was a big test. And the first reaction was, this is going to be disaster. This is going to be a very short-lived career as a teacher. It will end before it started. But then I thought about my quandary, my predicament, that I was in a hopeless situation. I couldn't even pick up my bags and run away to a place called home because I had none left. So I think I learned my first lesson there. That as long as you have a fallback option, you will always chicken out and run away. Right? When he said come empty-handed, he said, burn all your bridges and come. Burn the boat. When you cross over, then you should burn your boat so that you'd never have the temptation to go back. Which means it's not for the faint-hearted. Those who want to crawl back into the comforts and said, it's tough. So he's saying, what is he checking? The master is checking, how good is your faith? Are you willing to walk through fire? Are you willing to let go what you think is so precious to you? Are you really ready for what He has to give you? Because as they say, only the deserved gets it. And to deserve it, we have to be prepared. Even for growing any crop, first the land has to be prepared. The land has to be cleaned of the weeds it has. Then it needs to be dug up. Then we need to put manure in. Then we need to water it. And then only when it is ready do we plant the seed. And then the plant needs nourishment and regular care so that it grows. We may have the plant of devotion in our Lord, but do we have the trust in our Lord? Do we really want this to happen? Are we prepared to do what it takes to experience the truth for which we have taken birth? Just imagine our quandary. Just imagine our plight and our state. That we want something, but yet we don't want it. If we want it, we are not willing to take the steps to reach there. Because we don't want it bad enough. And when I stepped into the classroom for the first time and I stood in front of a class full of children, university, this is not school that you can say anything. You have university boys. If you don't teach, they are going to make sure that the whole world knows about it. Yeah? And they're not going to be quiet in the class. But the night before my first class, this is the conversation I had with my Guru, with my Lord. And I'm sharing that with you. Maybe it's a conversation that each one of you needs to have. And this conversation was that you have always said, my master used to always tell me only one message he gave me all through my life. He said, you and I are one. And he said, all that you need to know is already given to you. And in every dream, in every time he would speak, he would just say, he would not tell me anything other than that's it. So, all this while, only I doubted this message. But that night before, actually I didn't have much doubt. If I had doubt, I would have not burnt everything, got rid of everything. I wouldn't have come empty-handed there. And I realized no matter what the hardship is, I am ready to stake it out. I'm ready to go through this experience to see where it takes me. And I told him, it's no longer my test. Tomorrow morning in the classroom, I am not going to be tested. My Lord, you are going to be tested. Because you have said that you and I are one. I turned the game around. Instead of feeling the pressure on me, I put the pressure back on my master and I said, now this is the time for us to become one. And for me to experience this oneness. I would experience oneness through the spiritual teachings that would pass through me. But that was the only realm of understanding I had. But I decided out of sheer desperation, because I was to go into the class next day and there was no way I could read through it because I couldn't understand it. The time was too less. So I said, what he does to me, I do to him. And I said, okay, I will just present myself there. You teach through me. You give me this understanding because we are one. Then that means what you know, I already know. And you've always told me that you and I are one. Let the test happen. So it was what we call as an Agni Pariksha, the fire test. That I stepped into that classroom and I prayed. I did this same invocation that I've done. And I called on the master to take over. And in that day, I realized that I could teach Vedas and Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita just because it was not me who was teaching. It was that Lord. And that day is when I realized that it is the human mind which creates a barrier between ourselves and the God who is within us. I'm sharing this with you because it's not just my story. It is everyone who's present here, their story. Because when we step into that light, this is the expression that we've heard, that step into the light, and the light shall shine through you. And we somewhere have not connected to it, and we have been doubting it. We, in our mind, create a separation from our Lord. I had already, in my home, I used to keep a chair of Sai Baba. The day I had started to experience His presence inside me, I told him, Baba, this is where you reside. I do not want a physical Sai Baba. I want a Baba who stays here, not outside. And that day I removed his chair and I said, Baba, I'm sorry. The only place for you is in my heart. And from this moment onwards, you shall always reside here only. And we should now live the rest of our lives in this eternal oneness that you have come to teach us. And from that moment onwards, I started to, we all need validations. We all need proof. We are always looking for proof. We are testing our guru. We want a proof. We are always trying to test our guru. And I was looking for perhaps a validation somewhere inside. And that day, my guru gave me this validation. That yes, truly we were one. And that's when I realized that all separation was in the mind, and that once we step into that, and to step into that, I needed faith. That day when I came to the class in the morning, had I not had faith, I couldn't have done it. I surrendered to Him. This is what Krishna says, Hey Arjuna, surrender to me. Have faith. You have seen my Virat Rupa. You know that I am that creator. I am the creator of this whole consciousness. I am that one. So don't worry. I will always take care of you. Surrender to me. But what do? We surrender to our securities, our associations, our wealth, our whatever. We have hundreds of fallback options. He says, make me as your best friend. Don't make any other friend. Make me as your fallback option. And then you will experience me always with you. It always starts as the first step that we experience His or her presence with us all the time. First is the presence. As we say, when we sat here today and we meditated, we say, Swami's presence is here. Right? We're still saying that there is a presence which is outside. We never say, I'm experiencing Swami within me. So first is the presence which is outside. Then is the presence in the heart. And then the realization comes that there is no difference between Him and me. And that day is when we truly start living. That is the day when our life starts to shift. Till then, We feel we are fortunate to be caretakers of this place. We are fortunate to do seva. Whose seva are you doing? I must ask all of you, which guru are you serving? There's only one guru, the supreme truth, and that is you. And whatever we have to do in our lives, whatever actions we are taking, should be aimed towards experiencing that and that alone, because that, the Lord said, is the purpose of our human birth, and that is the reason why we follow Him. But what kind of a fellowship is this, that we follow Him and yet we do not follow what He says? Why is the need to still run after forms and get something out of that form when He was never the form? He just used this beautiful form behind me, and He's using other forms now. We understood, we are happy to understand that there is another form which is representing. He said, not just one. There are going to be thousands of me, not one. But what will we do? We leave one, we run after the other. Then we will run after another one. Everybody is looking at when is Prema Sai coming. His picture I see over there. We always are fascinated by forms. But the form is temporary. Even Satya Sai Baba had to leave his body. Shirdi Sai had to leave his body. All of you are Sais also. You also have to leave your body. I have to also leave my body. But there is something that doesn't leave. As I said, Satya Sai Baba is, not was, not will be. So when He is, then who else is going to come? And if He is, then He is as you, as Adam. Incidentally, Adam was the first God. So let's stop waiting for a God to arrive or another master to arrive who's going to make a beautiful ashram and he's going to emancipate us. I'm sorry. It will always disappoint you. You'll keep waiting. And you will keep looking at the next satsang dates and when he's going to arrive in this ashram. If you're going to live from satsang to satsang, from one visit to Assisi to the next visit of Assisi, or you are going to see him, I'm sorry, this lifetime is just going to go waiting. But you can right now in this moment do something about it. You can in this moment understand the truth is here. And you can follow the path that has been laid out. And you too can experience that truth. And that is the only worthwhile pursuit in this lifetime. Everything else, as Swami used to say, time pass. Waste of time. So turn your devotion into a relentless pursuit for getting the experience. And as in Bible, as Jesus said, seek and ye shall get. Seek. What are we seeking? Are we seeking this experience or are we seeking to serve a form? This chair is a representation. Look at the meaning of this chair. This chair is a representation of the formless principle, which we are honoring. We are honoring this. We put water there, we put a lamp there, we offer, we put vibhuti there, because we say that the formless principle is ever present. But tell me, please answer me this question. Is he only present here on this chair? It will be sad. It won't be a God if he is just sitting there. Yes, he sits there. But he sits there also, there also, there also. And all the people who are on the call. Why would he sit only here? That is what these ashrams that are being set up. What is an ashram? It's actually a place to my understanding, what he told me is not ashrams. These are human development centers. These are centers, these are actually human development centers, because this is what English people understand. But to me, what he told me, I'm setting up Gurukulams. Gurukula is a place where a guru lives. And everybody comes to learn. And this guru only teaches one subject, the subject of the self. Self-development is what is the subject he gave me to teach. By the way, after those 5, I was tested. Then he realized enough test was given. 2 months later, he said, okay, you will only teach, this is how he said, you teach self-development like this. That's all. We have all come to experience this truth. Most of us are having energetic experiences, very strong experiences. But we are not reconciling that to this ultimate experience. And maybe we are here to experience that love. Maybe tonight something is going to come. Maybe after this, as we experience His presence in our heart, we'll realize that there is no running off to one more church and one more cave and one more place to go and experience that. Yeah, we are doing some work, right? We're doing some energetic work. We're helping bring this energy back. We're doing all that work. I'm not going to any places as a tourist. I'm going there for a job allotted to me by my Lord. You have a work to do. Go energize, clear up the energies in these places. I walk. I am you. I am. When you asked me this question, are you a communicator? Are you channeling? No, the word you used was channeling. He says, you're channeling God. I said, no, I am God. I don't channel God. Because when I channel God, then me and God are two people. I am God. I have no doubt that I am not God. Every day, every moment in our lives, the God is manifesting and the God is making everything happen. Wherever we go, it seems everything waits for us. It seems all doors which are closed open. It's like we have an appointment with all the saints and sages who wait for us. How does it happen that we don't even plan, Adam, and yet we come here and we have a 4 o'clock appointment, and now we are sitting here and doing a satsang? Because we listen to His command. We listen to the will of that one consciousness. We do not have our plans. We do not make our plans. But we are so flexible to what He shows. As the Lord shows, we just do it. We are not caught up. Because our mind is not playing at all. We allow Him to become one with us. He's always one with us. We don't allow it. It's very strange. We ask for grace of the Lord. We pray for grace. But He says, my grace is always there. You're not tapping into it. I don't switch on the tap. I don't close the tap. He does not switch on and off. He just knows how to give. This Lord only knows how to give. He does not stop for anybody. We do not accept it. We do not take it. We are the ones who doubt. And we blame Him. And we keep begging Him for that. And He says, what fools! I am giving. You're not taking. And then you're still begging for the same from me. What's wrong? He's giving, we are not receiving. How funny is that? And the day we open up to this whole understanding that He is present in everything, He is guiding us through everyone, He is every minute pointing us to something. But our plans, our own individual plans come in the way. It's inconvenient for us. The inconvenient truth. And that inconvenience is, we always have something urgent to do, somewhere else to be, some other plans that are clashing. I can only give you so many days and so many hours. After that, I have to do this. He says, okay, whenever you are free, whenever you have the time, whenever you have everything set up for you, then come to me. That day, I will give it to you in an instant. Ask yourself, are you ready to receive it? If you want to, it can be given to you today, right now. What's stopping you? I don't know. Baba very clearly said, I have put a mold, a die, and it has been casted just to show that man can ascend to divinity. We have to just follow that path. But what do? We follow the form. We don't follow the path, we follow the form. And from one, we go to another trap, from another trap to another trap, and then we wait for somebody else to also come. A guy called Prema Sai. Prema Sai is only incarnation of love. Is sitting here in front of you and is sitting inside each one of you. If you want to meet him, you can meet him today. I will make you meet him today. In your hearts, you will experience him. But don't look for him as another one who's going to come and sit on this chair. And the day you feel that you're ready, go and sit on this chair. Because you are that divine. That is all this period is about. This is the golden age. Golden age is not going to come that one more master will come and, raise his hands and we will become divine. He will come and, tap on our head. It will, when we will awaken to this truth and we will experience this, we will have to walk and we will have to say, I'm going to sit on this chair. And that is the day he will clap. Gods above are going to clap. Gods above are going to shower rose petals on you and say, bravo, that you did it. That's all. This is a very beautiful moment, right? Why did we come here? We came to Assisi because I was told, go to all the messengers of pure love that were there. We went in England to the Mount of Saint Michael because he is the angel of love. We went and did clearing work with him. He said, I will walk with you always. I was asked to come to Assisi to help energize the power of Saint Francis, another messenger of pure love. And we just keep bringing this energy up because this energy has to now start. This is going to be the primal energy now. So don't worry about the world is being in darkness. Don't worry about what's going on in the world outside because it's all being taken care of. God is in complete charge. This is a transition. This is a plan. The future is so beautiful you cannot imagine. Just imagine when you become God. Can there be anything better than that? So start booking your own chairs, right? Instead of making big chairs for a master, start creating beautiful chairs for yourself. Whichever chair you are happy with, and the day you think you're ready, go and sit on it. That's all. This whole journey of life is only about this. Everything else is a hoax, is an illusion. Bad joke. But we are caught up in that joke. I speak only the truth because God only speaks truth. And that was what his message was, is, and will always remain. And the truth is that we are embodiments of pure love. He said it in every discourse while he was present. He always addressed us as that. And that love is God. And that is Prema Sai. And that is what is coming. Yes, he is coming. He's going to come to every ashram, not as a person, but as all of you. When you claim this, it is there, you're not claiming it. And I speak, as you all call it, the house of God. I speak from the house of God with His authority, with His power, with His presence, as Him, with Him, without Him, whatever you want to call it. These are names. But if you are experiencing this message in your heart, then you know it's truth. As I said, it's always the experience of in the heart where the truth can be experienced. Mind just creates confusion for us. So I thank all of you, especially who all came on this call at such a short notice. And it's quite late in India at this time. But this was his wish. And I say his wish because that's how is the language we understand. And I never imagined that this was going to happen. I didn't even know we were coming here. So, and you all know how this program came in, how we came here today. Yeah. And how instead of going there, we went to Lavarna today. You know, it's all flows. We never plan anything. He just sends us where we have to go. We are open, we respond, we experience magic after magic after magic, because this is the way of God. We say God is man of miracles. These are miracles happening in front of us all the time. I want to demystify all this for you so that we can all relate to it and we can all today experience this truth in our heart. So with that, whatever I had to share with you, I've shared, but I still have something to share with you, which will now come to you in silence. If you can all close your eyes, I want you to experience this pure love in your heart and know that is God and that is your truth. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shai Shri